What's up? It's your boy Riot Maker here. Today, I'm bringing you a video. It's gonna be chapter 1 and 2. So it's gonna be Johnny Cage, and I don't really remember who else after that. I don't really remember. I've done the story mode already. I'm just gonna run through it, give you kind of my thoughts and opinions on things, how I feel about this character, how I feel about that character, costume designs, things like that. Things I felt they did right, things I felt they did wrong. One of my first pros about this game is the story mode. While short, is amazing. It took right off after some of the older games. After Shao Kahn had been defeated. I know classic Mortal Kombat is Shao Kahn. He's the emperor. He's the mighty ruler of, what is it? Outworld. Yeah, Outworld. But I think the storyline for this one was really great, and you really couldn't ask for a better storyline. I know for a fact that the chapter 1 is Johnny Cage. Like I said, I'm not really sure who chapter 2 is. It's gonna have all the cinematics, me fighting, which I can tell you right now is abysmal. I'm not one of the best fighters in this game. I think I can drop it down there and that'll work. Yeah. I'm not I'm not at all anywhere a good fighter. Um but other than that, I say let's get into it. Making Shinnok a boss in this game is amazing. Because let me tell you, Shinnok is a pain in the ass. His fighting style, his moves are just they're really there. They're on point. And he's got some really sick combos. I've been trying to learn them for a while. Can't really seem to get it, but sooner or later I'll get it. I'm learning this game slowly but surely. I've always been a fan of Mortal Kombat games. I've played probably every one of them that's come out. I even had the old ones on the regular Nintendo, well, Super Nintendo, I think it was. Mortal Kombat 1 came out. Um, right here, I'm actually gonna get into one of my first cons about this game. One of my first cons about this game is during these sequences, there are too many. It's these button sequences that cause certain things to happen, but you could sit here and not press any button. Just let it roll through. Get your get your ass handed to you by whoever's on the other side of the button, and nothing. It's not going to hinder the fight in any way. I think one thing they could have done better was actually make it have some type of consequence by missing buttons. Like, say you missed, say there's nine buttons in the sequence, and you miss two of them. You start with less health in the fight. I think that would have been really cool. Um, if you just didn't bother to hit one of them, you were in for a fight of your life because you had like 50% less health or 40% less health than you didn't have a full bar of health. I think making a consequence like that actually making you pay attention, because after a while they just get after you do the story, you can only do the story mode so many times before it just gets uber repetitive. But it's a really good story mode. So I've played it a few times now. Different difficulties. Just for video sake here though, it's gonna be on easy. Um, just for video sake because it's kind of this video is kind of gonna show you the story mode and it's gonna display the different fighting styles. Now this is a pro for me. This is Sub-Zero's Revenant outfit. The Revenant outfits in this game are amazing. Kudos to whoever was in charge of costume design when it came to the Revenant characters. Kudos. But speaking of Revenant characters, and you'll see a lot of them. You see a lot of Revenant characters in the story mode, and a lot of them, what they are older characters that should have been in this game. Rain is one of them in the Cortal Khan chapter. Rain is an amazingly well designed character who I believe should have been in this game. Um, who else? Tanya's in the story mode, and we get her as a character later on. Um, Baraka's in the story mode. If you if you can put him in the story mode and you have to fight against him, that means he has a full set of moves and fatalities, brutalities. You know, he has all these things. Why not put him in the game? With with the way the Xbox One and PS4 are, even PCs, I'm pretty sure they have the capacity to handle a multitude of characters. If the PlayStation 3 could handle, what was it, 64 characters in one of the Mortal Kombat's? Yeah, it handled 64 plus a multitude of creatable characters. You can create your own characters. I'm gonna hit it with a shadow kick right here. Boom, shadow kick. Um, I'm pretty sure the Xbox could have. I understand graphic wise and all that. It's a lot to put in a game. But I feel, and I know some Mortal Kombat players, like major Mortal Kombat players, felt that way too. Because, like, Baraka and Rain were in 9. And most of these characters are just ported over. A lot of the moves are the same. Special moves, combos. So it's not like they really had to do anything different. So why could they not bring over the characters that most people really loved? Noob Saibot and Smoke. Smoke's in the game. When you use the Lin Kuei as your faction, you get a, what's that? Those faction kills. One of them, Smoke's in it. So there's already a design set there. Why not add him into the game? And I saw somebody on YouTube already has mods for Baraka, Rain, and Sindel. But my problem with that is not everybody plays this game on PC. So what is the point of actually all the textures being there and everything else being there and actually usable, which this guy's already proven it's usable. It's usable but not accessible to everyone. I would have loved to see another thing I would have loved to see with these newer games, and it's something bringing back from a much older Mortal Kombat game, is the ability to create your own fighter. I loved that. I loved that sense of creating the fighter, bringing him, and he doesn't have to have. I mean, you give him his own story. An unknown, like it was, an unknown hero fighting to save Earthrealm or whichever realm they're from. I'm gonna say now, Liu Kang's design is okay, but I still like the classic Liu Kang over this design of Liu Kang. Raiden's new design, he has a bit in the in when you're actually doing fights, he has a different design than what he does in the story mode. I like his. He has a little bit newer design. Kung Lao has a newer design. Um, I understand new different costumes and stuff, but an overall facial reconstruction of appearance reconstruction. No, they should have kept classic characters because that's the characters we know. Um, after Shao Kahn being defeated in 9, I think we could have. This one could have easily picked up a story there and used the character templates from 9, and I think it would have worked out just fine. But these are my opinions, and I know I'm rambling on a lot about things, but hey, that's why I do this. This is my opinions. If you have a certain opinion, feel free to let me know exactly what it is. I will. I'll be more than happy to discuss any opinion you had. It's gonna be, that big old comment section below. You can leave it right there. I will end up checking it and seeing Striker, Sindel, and Cabal. Cabal's one of my favorite characters of all time. He should have been in the game. Striker, I mean he's cool, but he's kind of that's the only noise I can make for him. It's just he's butts, man. I hated Striker. He's butts. Um, but again, these Revenant Striker looks like regular Striker. Cabal already looked like a badass, so you just strap some yellow veins on him and yellow eyes, and it just works for him. It doesn't change much. Now see, there's fucking smoke, but that Jax design though, I love the spikes and the purple. I love it. That is an amazing costume for him. The fact that he looks like Terry Crews, I have a problem with. Nothing against Terry Crews, but man, I don't think Terry Crews can fight like Jax does. I don't know who should have taken offense to that. Nightwolf. I mean, all they really did for Nightwolf was yellow veins, eyes, gave him red tomahawks instead of green. That's pretty much it. Smoke looks like a badass. I would have loved to have been able to. He has more of a metal plated look, which is really good. Um, Once again, Jax's character looks amazing in this game. I believe this is the Johnny Cage Jax fight. Yeah, like that. I'm still trying to locate that. I'm still trying to locate that one in the crypt. I have a lot of the crypt. I have every area explored in the crypt, which I'm gonna tell you now. You really gotta pay attention because you will miss some things like I did. I was kind of upset because it took me a while to figure out the crypt, man. X-ray, because he never blocks. The X-ray abilities, getting into those. Some of them, amazing. For example, one of my favorite X-ray moves, and honestly, that X-ray should have been one of his fatalities. I'm just pausing it here, um, for a quick second, so I could kind of get this out there. Aaron Black. Aaron Black's fatality, but I do not like it. It doesn't do anything for me. Some of these characters, amazing fatalities. Uh, some of my top fatalities go to Jax, the T-Rex fatality, Scorpion's Who's Next fatality, and my top fatality would be Melina's Tasty Treat. It's just brutal. Like that almost could have been a that fatality could have been a brutality, because that's just it's that bad. But Aaron Black's X-ray move is so amazing, so amazing. It works for his character so well. I believe it could have been one of his one. It could have been a fatality and a really good one. Just have it when it comes up through the jaw, his head blows off, and or just have his jaw just hanging there. Would have been one of the best. Quan Chi's design, I mean, it's Quan Chi. It's the same thing we've seen in the past couple. Shinnok really hasn't changed much. I mean, our last appearance of Shinnok before, I've, I keep wanting to say Deception, but I think it might have been Armageddon that had all the characters in it. I honestly, I'd have to look it up. Um, Before that was Mortal Kombat 4, and that was like a major appearance for Shinnok in that game. Even though Mortal Kombat 4 graphics were butt compared to things, I mean, even compared to the PS3 and stuff, Mortal Kombat 4 was butts. Nothing worked. But I mean, their characters don't change much. I guess that's just depending. I'm guessing that just will go into the discussion of being from different realms, aging differently. Um, but I mean, Quan Chi is Quan Chi, man. Uh, I, you can tell he aged a little bit by by that view there. You can tell he's got aging. His face is droopier. It's got more wrinkles and stuff. Raiden, I mean, I could go on about Raiden for a while. That about the things I don't really like about him, and that's when you know it's Shinnok. Shinnok's Necromancer fighting style is one of the best fighting styles in the game. Once you master that fighting style, it's hard to beat. I've seen videos of that mastered fighting style, and it is just it's insane. Is it just me, or the Shinnok's robe look like something a warlock would wear in Destiny? To me, it just reminds me of something a warlock would wear in Destiny. I don't remember who the next fight is. And one thing I did notice that because it is a Revenant costume, there are slight differences in weaponry. Um, the like Cabal's uh twin hooks. The tape's more. It has more of a dirty dinge look. The blades are actually black instead of a polished stainless steel. I honestly I feel like this is gonna be a video just discussing costumes because it's probably one of the. Some of the costumes are great. Some of them are butts. But I feel that was where they really stepped their game up, gameplay wise. Amazing. The I will admit the actual fighting in this game took me a little while to get down the basics for combos because the combo windows are so small. Kenshi looks like Kenshi. He One thing I did like is that they brought back the different fighting styles, but with the different fighting styles, the character looks slightly different. Like, yeah, you could change the costume, but if you just leave the original costume on there, you'll notice differences. And one thing I realized this, the reason why they did it is because it takes place years past 9. But I feel like all the new characters, well, most of the newer like Earthrealm and Outworld characters, they're just they really skipped on really being innovative. They just pretty much brought in relatives of certain fighters, and I think they could have been a little bit more creative if they really wanted to bring new fighters into the game. Um, Cassie, Jackie, Takeda, uh, Kunjin, like this fight's gonna be a pain. I already remember it. Even though it is on easy, some as you progress into the chapter, I'm just gonna keep shadow kicking because he wants to keep distance on me. Um, you will get a slight difficulty scale, even though it's set on a certain difficulty. Like this Shinnok fight is actually like the first time I went through it. I guess it's because I was still learning the game. This Shinnok fight was kind of tough, even on easy. X-ray. This X-ray is good. It fits Johnny Cage's character. It really does. And I'm gonna explain a big flaw in a certain character when we reach that chapter, because I think it's the next chapter. I think it's chapter 2. All in all, when I looked at it, it took me about 2 hours to complete the entire storyline, which honestly is it's a downfall for me because I expected a whole lot out of the story mode. I'm thinking, yes, new story, some new characters, bringing back some old favorites. Um, but they could have done with like so much more to this game than what they did. It's a great game. I'm not telling anybody who's gonna watch this not to go out and get it. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you will definitely enjoy the hell out of this game. It's one of the better Mortal Kombat games, and it takes a true like fighting game player to grasp and master. Because I'm not a pro fighter. I wouldn't even be considered amateur. I would be considered a casual fighting game player, and I can master. I've gotten it down like where I can at least win a match just playing. I go online and run into people that are just nuts with it. It's absolutely insane. Some of the Scorpion combos. I've seen some Ferrator combos that are crazy. Goro combos. There's This game was really well built for what it is. In my opinion, is it a 10 out of 10? Nah. But I will definitely give it an 8 out of 10. And now that I'm looking at it, I think we'll do one chapter at a time. Just because this chapter's already running 25 minutes long. See, here we go. See that section was in the past, right? Right when he was first released. 25 years later, now you have Kunjin, Takeda, Cassie. All in all, right, good fight. They're great players. Jackie, but there's your glimpse of Jackie. All in all, great fighters. They have some combos with them. They definitely didn't fall short with gameplay. But I think honestly, that's where NetherRealm might have wanted to go with it instead of having a story-driven game. Because I know it took me somewhere around 7, 8 hours to beat the story mode of Mortal Kombat 9. And that's just because some of the double fights in there are with the level scaling of that game. Some of the double fights are ridiculously hard for me. I'm not anywhere near professional. I know some people blew through in a couple hours. It took me a good 7, 8 hours. Oh, where are we going to now? Chapter 2. And this is where we're gonna stop it. I think this is where they bring in Kotal Khan. Um, come back at a. I'm thinking I'm gonna upload one of these every day. Tomorrow we will do. Right now you're getting your first glimpse at Kotal Khan, Kano, I believe Devora. Yeah, Kotal Khan, Kano, and Devora going into number 2. But that's it for this one. This is chapter 1, Johnny Cage. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all tomorrow with chapter 2, which is going to be Kotal Khan.